Yo, what's up? This is Splendid Radio on Pharcyde TV with my co-host Jeremy Scipio.
What's going on, people?
Yeah, man, we back off in here.
Back, yeah, back
and
again.
per Brown, I should probably be wearing some sunglasses because he was saying my eyes. I was looking sleepy, man. I promise you, I'm not sleepy.
Oh,
That's just
oh,
where it's at.
we both got that problem.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sleepy. I'm on 10 right now for real. But yeah, man, that's just where it is, man. So shit. 2023, man. That shit was hardcore to the last drop, man.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like a mug. So what's up with you, man?
So, yeah, I'm currently still in New York. I've been in New York since the 14th. So, I'm damn near a resident at this point. I was working the ball drop, so it's crazy because this is my fourth year doing this. Uh, the first year was actually, the year that the world shit the bed. So it's just really you're walking into the year never, no one to expect. But I'd say just being a part of like the actual party, the
Mm.
biggest one, like because everybody else is doing their New Year's events, New Year's Eve events, but this is like the biggest. This is the whole entire Times Square watching it, screen. Now I will admit some elements of it were extremely corny. Like the song that they play during the countdown, or during the countdown, or when it's over, and you go 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year, and they play that slow. They need to just drop that. They had this old white dude singing. They need to drop that, man. We over that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
You either have black people or Koreans. That's it. That's the only people that get people grooving and be like, um, what else, man? Yo, yeah, New York, it's a new level of dirty. I I feel like it's gotten dirtier in the last 4 years. I don't know what y'all been doing in New York. It was already grimy, but they done took it up a notch. I got sick here immediately, like 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 a 24-hour bug. But it was at first I thought maybe it was because it hit me hard. I was like, maybe it's COVID. I'm like, no, this is that welcome to New York.
Hey, man.
And my voice got deeper. I started spitting a hot 16, bro. I'm like, okay. But now, yeah, I'm on the uphill. I got a show Wednesday. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to the year, man. Starting the year off with a bag, so I'm happy.
So tell me this, being in New York
Hmm.
from the Valley-esque area of
Hmm.
Los Angeles County,
Hmm.
on the culinary tip, what
Okay.
have you adopted more than you've ever adopted it being in New York for the time that you've
Well,
been?
yeah, that's an easy one. I mean, and it's predictable. What it is the fact that, like, because I've been on the go, I've been on the go so much that, pizza, grabbing a slice, like, it's just a part of it. When I first visited New York way years ago, I looked at New York pizza like, because the way they treat pizza, it's just like it look old and dirty. I don't care what y'all say. They be like, "Oh, it's great pizza." I'm like, "Yo, they be having it sitting in the windowsill. That might not be the slice they give you, but it don't matter. It's like the way they treat pizza is borderline disrespectful, but it tastes amazing. Not gonna lie, I think it's a part of the lifestyle. When you got places to be, you're like, "Oh, let me get a slice." You know what I'm saying? You get slices. Right now, I'm on the buffalo chicken pizza with the ranch. You know what I'm saying? That be hitting at a certain time. You know what I mean? Certain time of day. And people try to skip out. You gotta do the whole pizza, like the sauce and everything, and then put buffalo chicken and all that stuff. I hate when they just go, "Oh, well, since it got buffalo, we don't need sauce." You tripping. You gotta do the whole thing. But what else? I done had everything. We had Italian last night at a Carmine's. Yeah, Carmine's. We did Carmine's.
I've
They had
had the
okay.
best Italian food I've ever had was in New York for sure. And I
Yeah.
used to think like, man, I've had spaghetti, I've had lasagna. You know what I'm saying? How I've had scampi. Like, how can it be? Nah, there's levels to it. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Oh, is
Yeah, yeah, that's it. No, I'm not gonna.
it?
I'm not gonna go.
We had veal. We had what else we had? Honestly, it's cool. sauce, cheese, everything. Like it's cool, but I can't have an Italian diet. That's it.
It's
You know what I'm
too
saying?
much, man.
Too much pasta, too much bread, too much. You know what I mean? Like you start turning into one of those fat cats. Like, hey Tony, hey, you know what I'm saying? So you know what I told the schmuck? I told him.
Hey man, Mexican food. Hey man, we'll take our carbs in the in the taco shells, man. That's just
Can I tell you? I ain't never had too much Mexican food. That's just me. I ain't never. I can eat that back to back every day in that trip.
Mexican food and tuna. I could eat them every
So
day. I could eat them
absolutely.
every day.
You know, and tuna's good for diet in general. So
Mhm.
what else we had? We had tiramisu last night. That was cool. What else we had? We
You
had
gotta look.
we had huh?
You gotta look up Aki,
What's that?
the Aki way.
I don't know.
If you're gonna be in New York for a couple more days, I'm about to shoot you, homeboy. So
Okay.
basically, he has a spot. He has a little deli, like a micro deli, inside of a liquor store, a bodega, a bodega.
Mhm.
And so what he does is you can bring anything to him and he'll turn it into a sandwich. And so like
Mm.
he'll take like
Mm.
beef patties, he'll take like a beef patty and make a burger in the middle of the beef patty and throw onion ring. Like you, I'll shoot you a reference. But it's
Yeah,
definitely
you should. You
yeah,
should.
yeah. If you there for a couple days, it's definitely something you should pick.
Yeah. And okay, this is the last one. I know you can do this all day. So tonight I had Jarrell's. It's a vegan burger spot. Uh, it's pretty good. It's like only thing about vegan burgers, you gonna spend a lot of money. It's not cheap.
For
They make
all
it like
carbs, you spending the grip for all carbs.
that's facts. That's facts. I mean, they probably sprinkle some protein dust or some those stupid on there, but what you saying is facts. Um, but taste wise, it's good. I think that they oh man, all right, they got this wrapper. I think this is where the money at. You would like this. 'Cause I thought about it. I was like, man, I was like, for real, they don't even need the burger. The wrapper, they got this wrapper. It's built like pretty much it's like a circle, and it start right here, and it's like where do you bite the burger at, and as you eat the burger more, you can unfold it more and more and more and more, as opposed to just ripping it or you try to hold it and the burger just fall apart. Like it got it so where you can like as you eat the burger more, it opens up. It's like a little foldy thing. I was like, man, if they put that on the market, everybody gonna copy them. I was like, they won't even be selling burgers; they'd be selling burger paper.
All right.
But yeah, Jarrell's, I say check them out. I think they good. Also, now we got on foodie tip.
Hey, we took it there.
uh, uh, go ahead, go ahead. Am I doing questions? I'm doing
Yeah.
it. Nah.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see. Uh, well, you got me. I don't know. You want to do the next one, and I do the because you got me
Yeah.
in red, right? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So you being the comedian, you've seen a lot of comedy.
Mhm.
Comedy in 2023 wrap up. Now,
Okay.
I watch different podcasts and I've
Hmm.
heard different comedians talk about comedians that really didn't deserve it, that was kind of thrown out in front, a million Netflix specials, whatnot, and people trying to go under the cloak of being a Christian rapper. I'm not rapper.
Oh, I'm about to say that sound like shots.
Christian comedian. People going under the guise of being a Christian comedian to just try to do whatever. But for you
What
being
are you talking about?
for you being a comedian, the year of 2023,
Okay.
what did you witness happen?
Okay. Think about the beginning of the year, and then I think about now. Um, I mean, there's one huge standout
Mm-hmm.
that is it literally there's a person who blew up who I think definitely takes the cake for this year. And depending on how they go with their career further, it it definitely changes the way certain things are viewed. I believe comedy is more accessible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what this year shows that viral has changed because you're getting more viral moments more often. So, the stakes are higher for what's viral, what's important. Like, I feel like even for me or, people on my status, used to get away with having like 10K followers and being like considered like a big name comedian. I think now the minimum is 100K.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you don't have 100K, you ain't working. That's what I feel like right now. Um, and let's not talk about your reach. That's a whole different ball game. Because people can have 100K and be frauding. Because I know my strong little 6, 7 thousand be having a bigger reach sometimes. Then like, well, how you, and the whole industry caught up on the game because if they want to do something monetarily with you, they want to ask for that reach numbers. They want like how many people your audience, how many people you touch with your audience. You know what I'm saying? Not with your
Organically.
content. Yeah, it's just a natural part of the conversation. Early on, you could just be like, they'd be like, oh, they look at the numbers and be, but yeah, I think 100K is the new 10K. Um, let's see. I think comedy specials are in a desperate need for innovation. Desperate need. The reason why is because, yeah, funny is standard. You can't, no, you no longer can blow people's minds with just political jargon. You can't just say stuff like, "Hey, man, black people need to stand up for themselves. Police need to stop shooting people. Um, it's okay to be gay. Hey, like you literally have to be fun. You got to say something
Nah,
else.
you got to have some meat on the bone.
Yeah, but the thing is that I think it's because of the culture, outside culture. I think it's a circular thing where if the environment is in a situation where we were heavily marketed to, heavy advertising. You know what I'm saying? Like you talk about Simpsons and Pop Tarts, Gap commercials. You know what I mean? Like there was a time where you know everything was thrown at you, and we just became dumb. I wouldn't say dumb, just not as aware.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, I would say pre social media. You know what I'm saying? Everything's thrown at you. So the way you would get certain types of news through comedy. So people could blow your mind with saying something really poignant and political. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, I never thought about it that way. But now, since it's commonplace, everybody's trying to be that person. And now we be sitting there like, well, I already know what you're gonna say. And people want to call it woke. That's lazy. Just saying woke. Like, yo, even niggas who get stuck on the word woke is you sound whack. Like, man, you can't say nothing no more. Like I can say what I want to say. What you trying to say? You know what I'm saying? Like this is on you, bro. Like what are you saying? And then when you give them the chance to speak, they ain't saying nothing anyway. So they say everybody has an opinion like assholes. I think some people don't deserve opinions or assholes. I think you should. I think when you eat stuff, you should try the shit, and then the stuff comes out of your mouth because that's how dumb you are. I think all you don't deserve an asshole or an opinion. Let me see. Last one. Yeah, man. I'm gonna go back to innovation. I think it's unfair. Musicians they get live concerts, music videos, and they get to let me see, live concert music videos. Uh, what else? Social media, all this. Like they get to do more and tour. Like I feel like comics, like we don't have a version of a music video. You know what I mean? It's like it's either doing a special or you're doing a live show. What is our music video? You know,
I don't
I
I
don't
don't
think.
think I don't think you guys are supposed to have one, man. I think it's like a person could own a bricklaying company and they
Mhm.
could just hell of a lay bricks in masonry, not just regular bricklaying, but they
Yeah.
could do masonry, right?
Hmm.
They get compensated a whole lot of money. But it
Hmm.
takes managing people and maybe you getting out there and lifting heavy stuff and woo, 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 but it makes a lot of money.
Hmm.
You could have a rapper. He makes a lot of money.
Right.
He goes to studio sessions, goes to the parties, hits red carpets, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The dude who's the Mason is going to work harder than the rapper, physically harder. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's just, it just kind of
The-
is what it is, man. The comic, and it's a trip, dude. And I appreciate you for bringing me into the very first show that you invited me to, and me seeing
Mhm.
comedy from that perspective, because I never realized how hard comedy was. Like,
That's
no,
funny.
hard, no. That night, I realized how hard it was because I saw two or three people go on before you and they were trying and it was just not going over. And I was like, damn. I was like, okay,
Mhm.
if you're a rapper, um, the DJ can just cut to a song that maybe people are a little more familiar with, or the DJ could play
Mhm.
somebody else's totally different song in order to get the audience's attention or whatever. But when you're a comic, you walk out there, dude, and you just vulnerable, and it's like
Yep.
you gotta
No.
take these people and you gotta punch something into the GPS and get them to go in that direction. And
Mhm.
I just see that it's just there is definitely a skilled art form to stand up comedy for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, there's multiple things I think that makes a comic, like an artist. I think one of the things that either I have or I strive to do, or I just know to be true, is to find the common thought in the room. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's not. But if you can find the one that everybody was thinking, they just didn't say it, that's when you're gonna hit the hardest. And I think that's the skill that a lot of comics, not every comic, but a lot of comics learn to master. So when you're watching somebody do it effortlessly, because I do understand the true art form of stand up should look effortless. You know what I'm saying? Like just like magic. I compare it to a lot of things. I compare it to wrestling, but one of my favorite ones compared to a magician, right? Like a magician, like because people look at comedy and they go, "Oh, I want to do that," right? a, a magician, when you see a magician doing what they do, it looks like you can do it. That's the point. It looks like you can take cars and go, right?
Without them
You
going
like,
all over the place.
right. But the thing is, because I remember you could tell there's levels to it. I remember this one, I think it was one of the first magicians I met like in person, like just a regular dude who was like a real magician. Not some dude. A lot of people just know card tricks. Nah, this dude, he like, man. I remember I'm thinking I'm doing a card. He's doing a card trick with me. He like, oh, pick this card. I'm like, all right. Then I look at the card, and he goes, "Is this your card? Nope. Is this your card? Nope. Is this your card?" He goes, "Man, I messed up." He goes, "You know what? Here, take the deck." You take the deck. I take the deck. He smacked the deck out of my hand, hits the ground. Every card on the ground is my card. That's a real magician. That's a
Yeah,
real magician. You know what I'm saying? That's how good comedy is. Where like, yeah, you think you keeping up, you think you following along, you're like, oh, he just talking, I know what he's talking about. Then boom, oh snap. But back to the saying about innovation, I just feel like certain elements of comedy, because I come from a production world too at this point. And I'm not saying it needs to be overdone, but just a little flair go a long way. And it don't have to be it, and that's the art of it, because it can't be too much, or people gonna look at it like it's trash. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm sick of is watching a special of a newer comic, or somebody who's coming up, black background or red curtain, them coming out on stage, just talking like it's like unless you got a ventriloquist or you can sing, I got a hot 15 minutes for you. After that, you just saying words. And this is coming from I'm a dry comedian, I think, for the most part. You know what I mean? I understand. I
I'm
just feel
not
like we need innovation.
I'm not gonna throw you under the bus, and you don't even got to comment on it. But
Yeah.
I'll say in the last 2 years, a particular comic has come into my top 5 comedians alive
Okay.
that I didn't necessarily give the attention to in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, Lavelle Crawford has the art of storytelling
Yeah.
down to where he almost hypnotizes you. Like he is
Yeah.
really, when it comes to a comedian with delivery telling stories and back to
Mm-hmm.
back to back to back to back to back to back stories, relatable
Mm-hmm.
stories.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, he's a very talented comedian to me, man. And I never, and it's a trip because I really did. He didn't, for whatever reason, I wasn't the hugest fan of comedy. So when the Def Jams and all that stuff was going on, no real comedian stood out to me like that. Like I guess Martin Lawrence did because he had a TV show. You know what
Of
I'm
course,
saying?
yeah. Of
And
course, yeah.
so it's like, you have certain people that's Sinbad. You have certain people that stuck out, but there was like TV shows to go with it to where I really can't think back and say, did Martin Lawrence really say a funny joke on a Def Comedy Jam? Is there one that I can just really think of that just really had me, or was he? But I'm not taking away from him saying he's not dope. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is he was funny, but it wasn't to me. I just never connected to like one of Martin Lawrence's jokes that just had me just like, oh man.
Did you see You So Crazy?
Uh-uh.
Okay. That's the first problem. That's my favorite special, by the way. You understand, Martin is my favorite comedian.
Yeah.
Now, I know you've heard me say on this podcast that he's not so great now, but doesn't take away his significance. You So Crazy. He got, and I understand what you mean too, because there is it just depends on what you're into. Everybody's into so many different things. You can't cover the spectrum of everybody. Um,
Is he so
but
crazy? The one where he was wearing the leather and he had the running and he talked about the ooey.
You So Crazy. Yes, yeah,
Okay, that
yeah.
was a cool one. That was a
That
cool one.
that's the that is the one. It's almost like a one man show. There is a joke on there, and granted, there's some bias there. You know what I mean? Because it's like, that was like my introduction to certain elements of comedy. But you got to think about it, like, man, like there's a joke he did on there. The way he did the joke, I'll never forget it. And you talk about that thing that you was saying, like you saying, like, oh, he ain't never had a joke that stood out to me. This one, I ain't seen nothing like it. Matter of fact, I'll give you a better story. I'm not gonna do that one because that one's wild. And I'm in New York, so I've been getting paused left and right. So no pause, I don't
Yeah.
do no pauses. But he did this joke on his HBO half hour. He comes out there, and I always big on strong openings. I don't like to start slow when it comes to that because I'm a drier comedian. I like to go boom out the gate. People know I'm funny, and I gotta work up here. Warren comes out, he goes, damn, because the people it was going crazy over. He goes, damn. And he put his coat on. I remember he put his coat on the mic stand. I never seen nobody do that before. He was like, yeah. He said, yo. He said, I got money now. I was like, yeah. He said, no, you got money. Things change. He said, you can say. He said, you could talk different. He said, you could tell a woman, shut the fuck up, and the crowd goes nuts. And he goes, and she do that shit, won't she? He said, well, you
But
ain't
a
got no
lot of
money.
that was the star power, man. A lot of that was
Um,
seeing LeBron walk out
okay,
onto the court.
if it was, this is his HBO special. It was not you so crazy was prime like 92. This is before that.
Mhm.
Martin brought that energy to it. I agree with you. He wasn't the strongest writer,
Mhm.
but nobody made it pop like that. I think people were chasing that. It's like, okay, Eddie Murphy to me, it was the most complete comedian, like all the way around. You know what I'm saying? Eddie Murphy had that, but he had other stuff too. Probably best storyteller, probably best. I can go on and on about Eddie, especially during that period. Martin, Martin was just like '90s culture in one, like you know what I mean? It was all that blackness, all that just wildness. And also I think was really important. This came to my head while you were saying it. Um, you gotta do what God put in your heart and be that person, that fully realized person. When I watched Martin on his show, because he auditioned for In Living Color and didn't get it.
What?
He ended up getting his own show on the same network in a better time slot. So, man, you just gotta do what God got for you in your heart, man. And when I see Martin, this is exactly what I think. Because yeah, he was not the best writer. He wasn't like, but he was that dude. I want to be that dude like that. Last thing I'm gonna say about Martin, I'm gonna stop. Um, dang, what was oh Chris Rock told this story where he goes, he said because Chris Rock was before like the Def Jam boom blew up a lot of black comics or black
Mhm.
comedy in general. Before that, it wasn't many black comedy crowds. I mean, unless we can talk about the real origins later, but Def Jam comedy was like a brand. When Chris Rock came up, he came up under Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy handpicked Chris Rock, and he was like the biggest black comic at the time. But he wasn't. He was just a regular stand-up comic. He wasn't like a Def Jam comic. So once Def Jam comics hit, they're like having new clothes, and new shoes. Everybody wanted a Def Jam comic. Martin opened for Chris Rock on a show on the road, and Chris said he normally didn't pay attention to the openers. He just go chill in the back. He went tripping. He said, man, he heard the crowd going nuts. He was like, yo, who is this kid? Going crazy. Everything saying, da, da, da. So he said he wasn't really paying attention. He just kind of chilled in the back. He said he went out there, crickets, crickets. Martin was that dude, man, for a minute, for a minute. But now it ain't even close. So Chris, this, Martin, this. Anyway,
Wow. All right.
sorry to go on my comedy rant, but speaking of Eddie though, you heard about they released the Beverly Hills Cop 4 for Netflix.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What you think?
What I will say about that is I really like Beverly Hills Cop. Beverly Hills Cop 2, I would watch it 1 out of 5 times if it's on. Beverly Hills Cop 3, I don't believe I've ever seen it in its entirety. I may have
Mm-hmm.
seen, I think maybe 5 minutes of it is what I have the attention span for. You're coming with a Beverly Hills Cop 4, he's just gonna have to have all the firepower in the world. Dude, he's gonna have to have cameos. He gonna have to have Drake in it. You know what I'm saying? he gonna have to, dude. It's gonna have to be a lot to gain the attention span of the people who are the consumers right now. You know.
Yeah, I think look, we on our this is our third Eddie Murphy remake. No, let's see. He did Coming to America. What he does? What else he do? He did Dolomite. Yeah, these revival properties, it ain't hitting like it should. You know, this is the second time I believe, and maybe even more, that he tried to revive Beverly Hills Cop. They had a TV show they was doing with Brandon T. Jackson. Um,
Oh wow.
yeah, but it didn't hit. I think Eddie's main issue when it comes to these type of things is that he has to be the star. Like he can't be the second fiddle. A lot of the plot for all these things is, oh, and then he has a son, and then he has a daughter, and then that's the new one. But then
Mm-hmm.
Eddie, I just think he don't want to go through with that. This one, I I want to see Eddie like act to have fun. I don't know if that Eddie exists anymore as well. Uh, I know I sound like I'm saying the same thing about Martin, but actually, yeah, man. You know, it's just hard to see our heroes get old. That's it. We need new people. So
Oh
yeah,
man.
I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna try to enjoy it. Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2, I do like. 3, like you said, I mean, You
All
probably
right,
just fell
man.
asleep on it. Yeah,
So
but
you watching
mm,
Beverly Hills Cop 4?
I'm gonna watch it. I got a Netflix
A,
account, baby. I'm gonna watch it.
a mercy hump?
Nah, it just put like this. I ain't gonna lie. It's a certain cocktail of stuff, and I'm the reason why they making stupid stuff like this. This certain cocktail of information is gonna get me to watch something. You go, Eddie Murphy, Beverly Hills Cop, Netflix. I'm there. I ain't gonna argue. It's gonna pop up. I'm gonna click it. If I got time. You know what I'm saying? Now if I gotta go look for good content, who am I? I mean, I'm getting older. I gotta, do a job, do comedy, but yeah, I'm gonna watch it, I'm gonna judge it, and it's not gonna be good. I know. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Nah, perfect. I got a perfect little segue.
Okay.
The future of comedy and or the comedy special on subscription platforms. Um, you know, the thrifty version of me has me even watching Amazon Prime stuff. Like I'm like, man, if I'm paying for something, I need to be getting every drop out of it that I can get out of it. So I go through Amazon Prime. They got some decent stuff on there. It's just the stuff you have to watch with commercials is kind of whack. And then if you watch something more than once, they want to charge you for it, the second time or whatever, which is all, whatever. Netflix, I just feel like the Netflix comedy special from the vantage point of someone that has something to do with the entertainment industry, and I've kind of navigated a little bit through the entertainment industry on the outside as well as on the inside. I feel like the comedy special on Netflix is almost like a blue check now. You can buy
Mm,
it, like, but not that people are buying comedy specials, but it's like it doesn't have that same uh prestige that it used to have. Like it's like almost anybody has. Not any, you know what? That's not true. That is not true. I
yeah, because
won't,
I don't. But
but the quality, I'll say the quality of the content has definitely gone in another direction.
yeah, I mean, it was a good business strategy. When you're trying to start a business that matters, it's man, Monopoly is a great game, man. Like you don't even realize I don't think we realize how much that actually, play into like actually taking over something. You know, it's the same thing like what Kanye was talking about with Sway. Like you don't understand Sway. Like I get what he meant because it's certain channels you got to go through. How Netflix took over the comedy game was at first it was a simple distribution deal. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
at that time Netflix was damn near Redbox. Ain't nobody care about that. So the first few wasn't important. But I don't know how they get the actual bag. You know what I mean? Because you got to start with money to make money. But once they started offering the big checks, they legitimized what they what a Netflix special was. Because at the first few, it was a joke. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, it's like, oh, that's cool. Your stuff's on something. But now it became coveted. It became coveted once you get your Dave Chappelle's, Jerry Seinfeld, Chris Rock, and who else? And your Louis C.K.'s. You know, then you get your Bill Burrs, and then once the press gets that, hey, they paying these guys 20 million per. Now it's beyond distribution. You know what I mean? Now it's like, oh, there's a bag. Distribution is just a deal to get your stuff out there. This is the thing. But that was smart because they got to pay everybody 20 million, just the ones who already got 20 million, 20 million. So now you think you just want to be affiliated with these guys. So it goes from, and I would say if there is a death, this will be the death. It'll go from you doing it for cheap or free, and then the death would be now you're paying for it because you want to be affiliated with it. And you talk about just like the verification thing you was talking about, right? What did Instagram and Facebook do?
$10 a month. I think it's $10 a month.
Right,
I think
right.
it's $10.
So I feel like what you put out there was a prediction. I do not think they're dead now. I don't think it's bad now. But the next step would be and they've reached down. Netflix and Live Nation have combined, and I did do notice, for better or worse, and I say for the better, they've been giving little guys more opportunities. You know
Mhm.
that I'm actually happy because I know a lot of the people. But I think the next step might be they go, hey, if you want a Netflix special, hey, we'll produce it. You just have to pay us $500 a month, like rent, just to keep it up there.
I'll give you one better than that. If you want a Netflix special, we'll produce it. I'm not trying to be prophetic here. I just know how business works. If you want a Netflix special, we'll produce it, but when you tour it, we got to get 25% of that tour.
Yeah, well, that definitely because that's what Live Nation combining with Netflix is, and I think they even tried to combine with Ticketmaster, but I think I got stopped, something like that. But yeah, that definitely, and that way we will be like rappers. But right now the getting is good, so I cannot say that right now. Right now is really good. I went in, and it's not like HBO. It's not like Amazon. Like Netflix is still legitimate. Like HBO, I tell you this is what I joke about. I say if you get HBO special, that means nobody gonna watch it, but everybody gonna say it was good. If you get Netflix special, everybody gonna watch it, but he gonna say it's trash. But it's Netflix.
Yeah.
People like, man, that wasn't all that. It was all right. Like I think there's yet to be a Netflix special that somebody would consider better than the original artist's stuff outside of Netflix. Like better than, you know what I mean? Like nobody's watching that Dave Chappelle's new stuff and saying it's better than his first couple specials. It's just I think I think it's the way people's brains work.
Mm.
That's me personally. Um, yeah, I think that's the answer. Future
All right.
comedy, hopefully me. And also Matt Rife, that guy. He's the biggest. 2023 was his. So
All right.
uh, I used to talk about since we talk about pain and stuff. Uh, Taraji P Henson. What was it on first? She been going on her Color Purple press tour, and she been breaking down. She's really smart though. She's been breaking down, upset. She pretty much came out about the lack of payment for black female actresses.
Every opportunity she got on the Color Purple's promotional dollars, putting her in front of a camera to be seen to talk about this movie. And instead of her talking about this movie, she been popping tears out and talking about how she's been disparaged in the industry, even by her fellow black women.
It's super smart, and the reason why it's smart is because the timing. The timing. She's doing it while working at her peak. You know what I'm saying? As she's doing, and the main one she did it to was Gail, which is we historically Oprah's best friend or whatever type of stuff they got going on. Regardless, it's like let's see how fake Gail can be. And we know Gail is fake. Stop acting like she's legitimate. She only do interviews when there's drama associated with it. You know what I'm saying? You know, and not to defend R. Kelly, but that was a layup for her. You know what I mean? Like that's when you're gonna get the Meg Thee Stallion. That's when you're gonna get her to interview you. She's not
Hey,
gonna interview you when you're doing something positive with your own life, just doing your thing. You know what I'm saying?
hey.
Unless you're Jay-Z, but that's something else. But yeah, um, I do believe Taraji.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
I think the old form of negotiation would be pay me my rate or I won't do press for it. That's exactly what Monique said and did. And they called her the worst person in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go, Taraji. We'll see what happens. She made it clear. So if she stops working, we know exactly what happened. And who's gonna be the next black woman to stand up? Who's gonna be the next black person to stand up?
We running out of them, man. You know what I'm saying? They teaching, what we're witnessing right now. We're in some very interesting times. Very interesting time because people used to be too scared to tell.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it is with what's going on right now, but these Negroes, along with some other people, feel emboldened enough to tell their stories. You know what I'm saying? Which is, it's amazing to me, but I don't look at it any different than I look at Colin Kaepernick. It's like Colin Kaepernick reached the level where he was just like, you know what? I shouldn't go up against the NFL, but man, they don't like me no way. So, so
You just gotta get your bread up to a certain level. Get your bread up to where you can chill at home regardless. Oh man, I should have brought since you brought up Kaepernick, we should have brought up Russell Wilson.
man, but he
You
but
heard
he
about
walks
that?
in with a grip.
That's my point. When you got your bread, like what? Like he beat the system.
He
He
is
beat the
not
system.
tripping, dude. I want to
Yeah.
say he's leaving with 128 million or something. It was something over 100 million is what he's leaving the team with, and he ain't tripping.
Well, I heard, and I'll look it up to be clear. I think it was the way his contract broke down, but I think that he gets paid 37 million just to stay out. That's what I have to read it. Yeah, I don't have no hard numbers right here, but it was just the way his contract was. Yeah, because he was supposed to get paid $242.6 over the course of 5 years, and I think wherever team he was with broke the contract, or yeah, they pretty much moved the contract over to the newer team,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and just went along with it, even though he had I guess a bad knee or whatever the heck, and they didn't get injured, but the contract's still in place. So yeah, he's probably the paid the most money. He has the most expensive body parts on the planet currently. And I think he's still the highest paid NFL player.
That's
So
amazing.
that's amazing. Only thing is, we know he ain't standing up for shit. So he ain't gonna fight for nobody to get paid more than
Hey,
that.
hey, man. Hey. So with that being said, in the crazy things that we're watching right now, that we're seeing happen in the world, your homeboy,
Mhm,
Mr. Red Hat,
mhm.
he got beat at his own game. They made him look at the ground while they ran their fingers up his face. While they ran their fingers. While he was worried about them getting him one way, they was able to sneak in and get one state, which was Colorado, to not have him on the ballot, and then another state followed. And it's just going to end up being that's the loophole. He was looking at something totally different while they had this going on over here where nobody was looking. And they're gonna make it extremely hard for him, man. Extremely
Yeah,
hard.
yeah. I mean, look. At the end of the day, because there are so many elements to this, and this is probably one of the most controversial men in history ever. You and I'm not saying the worst person, but definitely one of the most controversial.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's your mouth, man. You know what I mean? Like your mouth can make you a lot of money, but it can lose you a lot of money. And that man, like, he was he was one like he exposed a lot. One thing I appreciate about him is he exposed a lot of the political stuff. And the reason why is because he played the game. All the dirty parts of the game, he played it before he nobody looked at him as a politician. They looked at him as some part of the part of the system. You know what I mean? Part of some like, hey, I need to get this done, I need this legislation. Oh well, I'll pay for it, I'll lobby for and all that. He wants stuff built here. It's like he was friends with the fat cats and he turned on them. He turned on them. And I think at first it was a fun ride, but they want to let them know that the ride's over. And whatever inside information that they all get, like you said, I view it like they playing chess way ahead. But
Mm-hmm.
the problem is he has to speak. This man has to speak. You know what I mean? A good chess player, just a good game, they just move and fight. Donald Trump, his method is distraction. I do think he's as smart as his followers believe. I think he's very intelligent. I just think he talks too much, and that's what got him pent up at the end of the day. I understand the other stuff. I publicly trashed Trump many and plenty of times. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm just saying that in this particular scenario, what led to his demise is his mouth. I think that you go, like you pissing off the people, your fat cats. They don't us little people don't matter. I don't care how many supporters. You know what I mean? He
So
pissing off the money people.
so with this kind of segueing into the next question,
It does actually.
uh like what is it about celebrity nowadays where people just follow the cult of personality and like tangible things no one cares about? Like no one cares about like now put it this way. Okay, I'll say OJ. It was on the fence if he did it. It was on the fence if he didn't do it. Whatever. Nah, man. It was on the fence, man. It was
OJ
on.
said that he don't. He goes. He don't want to live in L.A. because he might be sitting next to the killer.
Yeah, man. That's just a
Yeah, no.
publicist, man. That's just a publicist. That's
He
man.
said it.
That's he's being relevant. That's just a publicist. I'm just saying. That's a publicist. No, I'm
Okay. All right.
serious. That's
All right.
just making him relevant, part of a conversation. Now, you get R. Kelly. You could call R. Kelly a whole bunch, but the common denominator was he did mess with some girls that were under the age of 16. Call it for good, for bad, for just whatever. It's matter of factly. Matter of factly.
Yeah.
What is it that when celebrities do stuff, people just don't care?
I mean, I don't think they don't care.
It
I
seems that
think.
the public, the consensus, the consumer.
Well, I mean, that's marketing and advertising anyway. I mean, I can't. I'm sorry. It's hard for me to blame the individual people, um, because we all have been marketed to so much that if the common thread is a certain way, people gonna follow it. You know what I mean? I don't think people are honest about the actual interaction of so many things in our society. A lot of that just boils down to parenting. You know, like as a parent, you got to be like really involved in your child's life and tell them the real, real, real. Um, because once you get to the political stuff of it, now you can't even parent correctly. You know what I'm saying? Like you get, like even the dynamic of the hotel room with a celebrity, right? Like everybody wants to be next to Drake. What if this your day? You the girl that Drake pulls into his room, right? You know what I'm saying? Let's just say you want to go to a Drake concert, but I don't even think a Drake concert. No, they're not. You could be 18 or like you could be 17 and get into a Drake concert, right?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
you 15
And
and
let's
get
say
to a
you
great concert.
say you want to drink. You know what I'm saying? So you want to drink. So you brought your fake ID. You got in, you drinking at a Drake concert, and you were sitting front row, and he picked you out. Then he come to my hotel room. You know what I'm saying? Like parents need to set their children up for that scenario. You cannot, and that's the man or the woman. I don't want to just keep it gender based. I just want to say that the parenting is what breaks that. Actually getting in there and talking to your child, telling them the dynamics of society and the things that can keep them safe.
Kids be having kids, man.
That's true. That's true.
So you can't even like, dude, mom's just talking
Well,
about.
Well, that's true. That's true. I mean, but it's the only hope to prevent a scenario of R. Kelly be growing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because if you just boil it down to the celebrity, well, I mean that's the way celebrity works. You know what I mean? Like you're going to if you have somebody over a loudspeaker saying, "Hey, it's cool to um wear the shoes on the wrong foot." It might not work at first, but if enough people are doing it, now they all doing it. They know it's wrong. What does it viewing being right or wrong have to do with it being cool or not? The only thing that would change that is parenting. That's it. That's all we got. Parents who are like, look, man, I don't care what anybody. What's the old saying? Hey, if Johnny and George jump off a bridge, you gonna do it too? Boom. That kills celebrity. There's nothing you can do about that. You got it. That's the only thing. Other than that, we understand it on a micro level. That's advertising. That's why I'm wearing an Apple Watch. That's why you know what I mean. Why I'm talking through my whole life is Apple because audience. I got tired of being left out. You know what I'm saying? And I needed to work. And the jobs that I do require me to have this stuff. You know, we gotta
Samsung to the
evolve.
heart, man.
And so, but even then though, like you ain't got a Motorola. You ain't got you know what I'm saying? Like we've been marketed to. We go even saying Apple or Android. Like man, what if I want a Kyocera right now? Oh, then you gonna get roasted everywhere you go. Come on, man. I'm not. That's not my point. My point is when it comes to your P Diddy's and your your R. Kelly's and all that stuff. Yes, Donald Trump, you know, all these supervillains. Yes, they're supervillains. They're terrible people, whatever the heck you want to call them. Whatever. If that's what it takes, yes, they are. But go to the solution. So we don't have to be involved with these people. Talk to your children, tell them the real before they get touched by their teacher. You know what I'm saying? Before they get, you know what I'm saying? That's the only thing you can do. I mean, and I don't want to say this part too. I don't, but just keeping it real. Like, let's not wait until the law gets involved. You know what I mean? Or get to the point where now I gotta kill somebody because they touched my daughter. Like, let's start with the knowledge. Hey, this is real. This is out there. It's this time. Bring your ass home. You know what I'm saying? Don't go in no hotel room. I don't care who that. You know what I mean? Like, this is my last one. I went to a Trey Songz concert with my homegirl years ago. One of my first concerts ever. I thought it was so funny. All the women in line had to like there was a bunch of girls with girls. All this hanging out, everything, barely wearing clothes. I was in line with a big old puffer coat, like Cincinnati, Ohio. You know what I'm saying? I'm cold. Like I'm looking around. They was like, why y'all? I said, why y'all got no clothes on? They was like, we going to see Trey Songz. I was like, I bet you that nigga got a jacket on. As soon as we get in there, he
Hey,
bundled up too. You know what I'm saying?
hey,
So people got to tell their kids, like, look, I don't care who in there. I don't care what's going on. Put a coat on. You know what I'm saying? That's what kills that celebrity. That's what kills it.
hey.
It's like, hey, I'm here to enjoy a concert in the winter. I'm gonna watch Trey Songz. He gonna say, hey, you wanna come back to my hotel? You be like, Trey, you cool, but I like you on TV, bro. And you take your ass. That's all we got.
Yeah, that's unrealistic, man. They want the lights, action, Rolls Royce hopping, Lamborghini truck hopping up out of, being taken to lunch in Beverly Hills.
We
Uh,
know how that story ends, though.
I ain't nobody worried about the ending, man.
I see, but hey, you gonna be 35, looking like you 80, living
Hey, they
fast. It's
ain't
the only
worried
thing that
about that. It's
happens.
the moment, man. Jiffy pop culture, immediate gratification.
Man,
They
hey, I ain't got kids, but man, I'm like, yo,
do literally not even to post on the gram. A girl to take her cell phone and show it to another one of her homegirls and be like, this fool is jocking.
what you mean?
A girl messing with a star. Like, so just
Yeah,
say if a girl start if Trey Songz was out of jail and a girl was able to interact with him and go back and forth, it wouldn't have to be the dinner. It wouldn't have to be the car. It wouldn't have to be the bag. It wouldn't have to be none of that. Strictly him just going back and forth with her, whether it be the DM or on the phone number, just an exchange of pleasantries. You
hmm
know what I'm saying?
yeah. I mean, look, that is true. But you just gotta keep it there, man. You pen pals. Except I know because when I be talking to friends, I be talking to friends about like just dealing with girls and stuff like that. Their expectations are so off. Like regular girls, they be like, "Oh man, no, this one dude. I ain't gonna call nobody out. I think ain't famous, but I also just in case they ever on here. Um, I remember he was like last year. I remember I had came back from doing this gig. I seen him probably like 15th of January, and I was like, "I mean, how you been, man?" He's like, "I'm a little sad." Like, what happened? He was like, "Yeah, I was going through a breakup," and I left town. I left town like December 26th. So I'm thinking like from December 26th to January 15th, you was in a relationship, but I ain't asked. I was just like, "Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that." I was like, "What happened?" He was like, "Yeah, man, it's just she just kind of ghosted me." I'm like, "Ghosted you? Your girl ghosted you?" He was like, "Yeah, I mean, we have been talking." I said, "How long?" He said, "2 weeks." I said, "Hey, hey, hey." He goes, "What?" I said, "Don't tell nobody that dumbass story, all right?" He was like,
Good
"What
for
you mean?"
you.
Yo, I said, "You were not in a relationship.
She wasn't your girl, man.
Never, not even at one point." I said, "She is a stranger. She's a stranger. She already forgot you." Like, yo, you're delusional. I don't even know. That's what I'm saying. I think that's parenting. How can you be that delusional to think that a girl
Oh
you talked to for
man.
2 weeks was your girlfriend and you broke up?
A
That is a
parent can't help.
stranger.
A parent can't help that, man. That's just you. Just got people that's just put it this way. I was talking to Brown today, and I was using the term evolution.
Mm-hmm.
Evolution doesn't necessarily have to mean something is growing into a better thing. It just means that it's evolving into something. So evolving, at least when I use the word evolve, it doesn't necessarily mean every 5 foot person is going to be able to slam dunk. We've just evolved into 5 foot people being able to slam dunk.
Mm-hmm.
In the context that I use evolution, it could just mean that, man, a 5 foot person that's never dribbled a basketball, in their mind, they could just feel like they could dunk, and they probably would say that to somebody if in a conversation, not even dribbling a basketball. Like that's just where we at. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mm-hmm.
say that to say, your boy in his mind, it was his girl.
Yeah, man, he's delusional.
Yeah, it was
That's what you say.
in his
That's what you
mind.
say.
In his mind, it was his girl. You know what I'm saying? It was
Mm-hmm.
like, man, he's like, oh man, my girl ghosted me. She left me.
And
Whatever.
that's what I'm like. I'm tired of saving people. I want to make money off of them. That's it. If you a food and I want some of your food money, that's it. But yeah, I really think we got if there's some type of program or something you got to do, you need to talk to these people, shake them out of their delusion. I know you can't do it too big, but enough. I just think that's crazy to me at least. I don't
So
know.
I've got this little personal pet peeve, and I'm not against people that want to speak their truth for whatever for things that they've gone through that have been wrong, for whatever reason wrong, little itty bitty wrong, real big fat wrong. But the problem I have is when people want to get compensated for the wrong that was done to them, and it takes over 2 years to click in their mind that they need to be financially compensated. I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
really have a problem with that, because either something was done wrong to you or it wasn't done wrong to you. But you don't wait when something is done to you, you don't wait 15 years and then all of a sudden you have the courage to stand up and want, put it this way, it's nothing wrong with somebody going through something and years later having the courage to stand up for what they went through. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm
mhm.
saying is when you want millions of dollars years later. Now, the pass that I would give is like they got a bunch of Instagram commercials. They got commercials on direct TV. They got commercials on direct TV things talking about if you were a teenager at Camp Lagoon or Camp whatever, you know what I'm saying, and
Mhm.
something happened to you, we need to hear from you and all that kind of stuff. Okay. All right. If you was a teenager at a camp, something happened to you. Okay. Yeah. You get your bread later on. But if you were dealing with a celebrity and you was just in it forever, damn near, and then you want to speak up, but you want to gang a dough at the same time while you're speaking up, you should have spoken up.
So this is the culture that we're in. They
All
pamper
right.
these people, and this is literally what the justice system exists for. This is literally why we have judges. The problem is that these people can be paid off and swayed, especially because social media outranks our justice system. Sadly, at least in its current stage. Um, so what I believe is going on with what I believe is going on with that situation. Like for example, with the P Diddy situation, there's a girl who is friends with Cassie.
Mm-hmm.
Now, mind you, I like to be clear on uh, how Cassie decided to go about this. Not saying she's right or wrong, but proper. She did it the
Mm-hmm.
proper way, which is everybody else doing the gossiping. She went to the court, put a lawsuit out there. You can sue anybody for almost anything, by the way. That's how the way the world works.
That's a
Um,
fact.
she put a lawsuit out there, and because the world got a hold of it, because you can look up these are public information things.
Uh-huh.
It was responded to in a timely fashion. That's still business. Her girlfriend said came out publicly and did an interview. This is separate, totally separate, because I don't know what Diddy paid her. Even though people they say the numbers, only thing we know is she was suing for 30 million, and then they settled. These are facts
In like a day.
of it going public, not in the
Yeah.
day of the
Yeah, yeah,
initial
yeah, yeah.
lawsuit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I have to speak like this because people don't understand. I'm telling you, I get backlash if I don't speak like this. Uh, but her girlfriend, who's nothing to do with the situation at all, other than putting a lawsuit out there. No, did she even sue Diddy? I think she sued him. I think she sued him. I could be wrong. I have to look it up. She sued. She sued him. She wants to sue Diddy for because she saw Diddy abuse Cassie. She saw her. Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
I heard homegirl.
At
I
a
heard
birthday
homegirl
party.
saying,
She said at her birthday party, Diddy came in drunk and belligerent, snatched Cassie up. Oh, I think he yelled at her. I don't know if he even touched her, but said,
dude,
"Hey, we got to go to this. You have to go to the sex party now." And she's
but
like, "No, I'm
dude,
with my girls for her birthday." She said, "No, I want you there." So she leaves her birthday to go to a sex party and to watch her get ran through. The girl said, watching that moment, as well as other moments similar to that, traumatized her, and she needs compensation. That's what has to stop in America.
I'll tell you something crazier than all that. Homegirl wasn't Cassie's natural born homegirl. Homegirl was
Okay.
a songwriter. She was a songwriter that was in the studio writing for Cassie, and then they
Mhm.
became friends because they were writing together. And then, the whole little whatever, which, once again, not for me to just be some heartless animal or something like that, but it's kind of like
Mhm.
if Homegirl was in the studio with Cassie and she was writing this music and seeing Puffy around, the party wasn't the first time she saw the wildness of that scenario. You know what I'm saying? I just believe in everything in my heart that party wasn't just the tip of the iceberg to just tip it over and just be whatever. Because Homegirl was like, she saw it before. Homegirl was like, before they even got to the party, Puffy was talking crazy, like real crazy. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to talk about problems, hey man, if people feel, we live in a world where people feel like if they can become famous or financially stable, they'll just turn their back to, you know,
Mhm.
something that they feel is worth them getting what they want to get out the situation.
We live in a capitalist culture. I mean, it's America, man. You can technically do whatever you want to do. I think is it unfair? Yeah, but justice is blind. Only thing that sucks is for me. This is the most controversial thing I'll say, and I'll move on because I don't like going back and forth. I like just pointing out society stuff. Sometimes I don't even have feelings towards it. I'm just saying I see it. You know what I mean? I'll just say if we're focusing on gender equality, you know, men in certain scenarios should have equal power to women in certain scenarios, or at least let's just say if I'm speaking to the judges, when you judge things, try to remove the bias that comes along with the gender when it comes to some of these scenarios. You know what I mean? Because what's her name? With Jonathan Majors, uh, you know, he sued her for attacking all that stuff. His case was dismissed. I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not even talking about the results of the case. I'm just saying that there's a clear bias when it comes to men having allegations, men having situations out there, and women having allegation situations out there. Do women get charged? Yes, they do. I mean, I think it's obvious to say not at the same rates. Do I have the numbers for this? Not exactly, but just like suicide rates, we know are mostly men. We don't need all the hard facts on that one. We know, hey, if you a dude and you go to child custody court with a woman, if she ain't doing drugs, you ain't getting those kids, bro.
That's almost 100% matter of factly correct.
you you gonna get joint custody like the rest of them. Take your ass to the back. You ain't getting fooled at all, bro. Sorry. She has to be a literal drug addict and on medication, on psychiatric drugs for you to get custody of those children.
Yeah. Hey,
I've been ranty today.
man.
uh, what's the best album you heard of 2023? We know this one.
Michael, man. Uh
Yeah,
Killer Mike.
Killer Mike.
That not only is the content dope, but I would say I haven't heard many albums mixed and mastered the way that that album is mixed and mastered. And just listening to it over the internet, however it was mixed and mastered, you could hear the depth of it. And I'm like, I'm knowing what was poured into that album, not only from a content, space, CeeLo on, I think it was the first song, CeeLo coming just on some straight up, just, yeah, real dope. And then Andre 3000, him
Of
coming.
course.
And I don't want to say I don't want to say Michael is flawless, but what I will say, if someone wants to listen to what could be one of the top albums of 2023 that they probably never heard, put it this way. Um, what did I listen to over the weekend? Oh, Low End Theory. Because I try to listen to an album every weekend, at least one album. Uh, I could listen to Michael front to back. Like I didn't have to take a break.
hmm
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
You mean zero skips? That's a high claim. Let's
No
see.
skips.
No skip. Oh gosh. You know what's funny? It's so hard for me to say that. Let's see.
You gotta try. But
I
the
mean,
thing about it is you gotta try, but you gotta stack it against, you gotta have like about three or four things there. So you're just not like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna be against the grain and make myself listen to this album in its entirety. You gotta have a couple. And then like for me, if I want to skip more than 3 or 4 times and I haven't heard a single that's just off the chain, I don't discount it totally, but it's something I have to come back to. You know what I'm saying? But me listening to Killer Mike's Michael and me listening to Low End Theory, I had the similar feeling of not feeling like I needed to skip or move or whatever. I could enjoy it in its entirety.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, look, I have not listened to it straight through, so I cannot say anything. Only thing I listened to is the Andre 3000 track that started a lot of that drama. Started the flute drama. Um, but yeah, I definitely want to listen to it. I just say 14 tracks, no skippables. I don't think I've heard that before. Also, you have the deluxe edition edition, sorry, that has 18 tracks. Is
We
that
didn't hear
including?
18 tracks. We heard
Okay,
14.
okay, just making sure.
We didn't hear
What's
18. We heard a short album, which is 10, and then 4 more songs on top of that short album. That's 10, and it was all listenable.
okay?
Sounded
Favorite track.
good.
Favorite track.
Um, I don't know the name of it, but the one with CeeLo.
Tilo, that's the first track. Down by law.
Yep.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
Uh, just want to give a shout out. First of all, when I listen to this album, I do believe that it's Grammy bait. You know,
You said that.
this is Killer Mike. He's officially a politician. Um, he's been through the game. He's been in the game a minute. You know what I'm saying? So he knows what he's doing. And if you look at all his other stuff, you know, it's just not presented the same way, which is fine. It's fine. I mean, you as an artist, you're allowed to grow, evolve, and change and all that
It
stuff.
sounds so good though.
But I like Killer Mike so much, and to know how he even got popular, because he came up under Outcast. So him stepping out to his own shell and to be making it, because hip hop in general is getting older. Like these guys, like the guys who's fitting the premium content are, you know, 40, 50s now. So to see him get a Grammy, that will be great. So hey man, hats off. I hope it works.
But I'll say this: even without a Grammy, it's a dope album, man. Even without a Grammy, like I'm not even like I understand you're looking at it, and it's crazy because usually I'm the one that looks at it from a
Mhm,
non-consumer point of view and kind of like
mhm,
it. I look at things as they are and not as they're marketed. And I hear everything you're saying about the Grammy,
mhm,
but I'm saying
mhm,
even without the grant, like me, when I was listening to the songs, I was like, man,
mhm.
the beats were cool, the raps were cool, uh, but it was mixed and mastered. It sounded good. And I think that, like, man, 85% of the music out right now, unless you're just a super pop icon, that stuff's not, it don't, Killer Mike's album sounded good. I'll leave it at that. It sounded.
Hey, I mean, look, I'm just looking at this. He got the producers on here. You know what I'm saying? Cool and Dre, no ID. I mean, I say, you can't really go wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, the features are there. You know what I'm saying? He got Andre 3000 to come out of the woodwork. You know what I'm saying? He got a Jagged Edge track. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I mean, look, I'm gonna listen to it tonight. You know what I mean? Because I want to
Yeah,
be, no, I mess with Killer Mike. And it's cool to see him step out and to run the jewels. Um,
man.
because
Man.
truth be told, I feel like Killer Mike is a black artist. Run the Jewels is a white fan base, like extremely white.
Alternative. No, it's alternative.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, just totally different. So to see Killer Mike, be Killer Mike, I want to see how this goes. That's all.
All
Run the
right.
Jewels was like already, killing it.
Oh man. Yeah. So man, your homeboy,
Okay,
they break the rules on him, and he does a next level Miles Davis.
what do you mean?
Well, when Miles Davis wasn't happy with the crowd, he just turned his back to him and said they weren't worthy of looking at it, and they was gonna look at his back while he was playing on the horn.
Yeah.
But your boy Dave Chappelle, when somebody broke the rule and snuck the camera into the show, he boned out. You know what I'm saying?
When was this?
Oh shit! This was like maybe over the weekend in the last 5 7 days.
Okay, well, I'll let you know right now that this is nothing new. Plenty of comedians have been doing this for years, and specifically, him and Chris Rock are good for it.
Dude, peep this. I had this had to be it was Century City maybe about 10 years ago, and De La Soul performed, and Dave told me to come out. And I came out to peep it, and it was a gang of people, man. It was a free concert in Century City. I forget who was throwing it, but it was probably about, I'll say 10,000, between 6 and 10,000 people in this like outdoor space, like huge. It was like a festival, like a mini festival, but it was a free concert in Century City. And this is, Instagram. I don't even Instagram was with us, but it wasn't popping. It wasn't something that you went to every day or every hour or every whatever. And Dave told people, he said, hold up. And they stopped the music and everything. And he said, why doesn't everybody just put your phone down, put your phone in your pocket? Certain things should be captured by your memory and captured by your soul and all this, that, and the third. And in one way, I was like, is Dave doing too much right now? Or is he just an artist who is very passionate about his art? And he's like, it means that much to me that I'm gonna stop this show and tell everybody, hey man, come on, man, y'all just doing too much. I see too many phones out there. And he wasn't coming from a place of people are gonna bite his show. That it wasn't that at all. He was coming from a place like, man, you guys aren't even enjoying yourselves. I'm seeing so many
Mm.
phones out. You know what I'm saying? So um saying that, I can look at David Chappelle and just say, like, you know what? I don't think he went too far by walking off the stage, because I think that it takes a comedian to do something like that for his audience to respect him and understand. Like, if you want the art, if you want the craft, I'm just asking that you don't just take my stuff, man.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I'm telling you, he's this is not new at all. I don't even know why it's news. You know why it's news? Sorry, I do know why it's news. It's news because he has a special out on Netflix that just came out. Was it 2 days ago? So they publicize anything he does, but it has literally him and Chris Rock. I've seen personally do this plenty of times, and it's just really a simple thing. It's not even like it's not even newsworthy at all. Like
Everything
literally.
is content. You breaking my heart, Jeremy. Everything is content. Like that. That's just really where.
But that wasn't the content part. The content part is the hey, they have a special out. That's what I'm saying. Like it wouldn't be new. Well, though Dave Chappelle makes news every day. Don't get me wrong. I really, 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 really come on. I've been following for a minute. I was there when he got tackled on stage. This whole set, I've seen it. I've seen it probably 10 times. I know this man. I know his stuff. I know a lot about it's and it's a blessing because to be around somebody that so many people want to be around
Mhm.
is pretty cool. But yeah, man, that's a big thing. Hey, don't record. And some people record anyway. That's what happens to. It happens to. But yeah, it depends on what mood he's in. He's human. He's allowed to have emotions, you know. But like I said, it's really not a big deal. Like we don't even freak out over it. I remember same thing with Chris Rock. Chris Rock's on the stage in the main room in the comedy store. He starts talking, tells like one joke. Somebody literally like this, right? He just go mid joke. He goes through the mic, walked out. That's it. That wasn't on TMZ. That wasn't on nothing. It was even the person that recorded it. They ain't put it out. they can try, but nobody cares.
It
Nobody
happens.
cares. It's just I do the same thing. If I'm working on something, I don't want it to be recorded. It's a hard dichotomy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not famous, so I'm not tripping. You know what I mean? But I'm saying that when I'm at that level, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to put that out. But they've been doing Yonder. There's a company called Yonder. So when Dave Chappelle does his official shows, he'll hire people to put it in a bag
Oh yeah.
and lock their phones up. Yeah. But like I said, the Hollywood Bowl thing, everybody's phone's supposed to be locked up, and they recorded that from every angle. So you never know.
I'm gonna hit you with the last one, man. We've done a pretty decent wrap up, man. We've done a pretty decent wrap up. Your personal favorite comedy special of 2023 on any level. So doesn't have to just be Netflix or Amazon or HBO or Showtime or any of that stuff. Who came with the comedy special that you said, you know what, out of all the comedy specials I've seen in 2023, this was brilliant?
Um, I'm no longer no, for real. I mean, I'm a biased. Uh, like my opinion on comedy specials don't really matter. I know. Um, I understand why somebody might view it as important, but I'm in the game. I mean, like I'm literally running. I have my own set. I'm working every night. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, only ones I'm gonna pay attention to is the ones everybody pays attention to, which is like your Dave Chappelle or Bill Burr. You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of them at this point, no offense to these amazing people, they're kind of saying the same stuff over and over. Like, I'll be honest with you, and I defend them. There's gonna be a similar take from two different perspectives, though. But like, for example, Mike Epps, I don't need to watch him his new special. Never. Like, it's gonna be the same stuff. You know what I mean? Like, he no offense to him, he is very funny to me. I understand. He's very funny to me, but he ain't gonna say nothing new. So it's fine. It's gonna be remixed to the same stuff. That's a lot of them are like that for me right now.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had to give one, I'll give a lazy one to Dave Chappelle. Um, you know, because I say especially because he starts off with a joke that no one can do and people are scared to do. So yeah, other than that, I can shout out some people. You know what I'm saying? I can shout out Matt Rife, Ralph Barbosa. I can shout out. I mean, I can say like, oh, it was tight. You know what I mean? But particular wise, I mean, like, look, I think I'm better. I don't know. I got, I'm saying? I got stuff in the chamber, bro. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just my perspective. But my opinion on that is get a real comedy fan to be like, oh, the way they did the punchline here, normally they do it in the back end, now they do it in the front end. Like, get one of those guys. I'm a consumer. Like, I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I
Oh,
just want to have fun. I don't even care about who the funniest no more. I mean, like, until I get mine, everybody funny.
Jeremy's grown up and he is focused. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody funny, man. I ain't gonna sit here and hate on nobody, but
Yeah.
man, I can tell you. Oh, you know what? I get love to Ali Sadiq though.
Woo.
Ali Sadiq,
He
a lot
was
of
one
love.
of the he was one of the best finds for me this year. And
Hmm.
he's a great storyteller also. A great storyteller. A great storyteller. And he's riveting. You know what I'm saying? His when he tells his stories, they're very relatable the way that he tells his stories. And his comedy, I want to say it wasn't dirty like that. I think he used profanity, but it wasn't like his comedy wasn't full of oohs, ahs, f bombs, showing his boot, whatever.
Hmm.
He was a genuinely um funny comedian. Yeah, I could second that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that's somebody who I admire and I would like to perform with more on a regular basis. So I, and I like that he's getting his. after being in the wings so long or being behind people so long. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and I think right now he is the title for best storyteller. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was a good come up. So no, man, with that being said, this was the 2023 wrap up wild card version of Splendid Radio wild card. Hopefully we're I had a deck of cards in my hand and I told you to pick a card and I dropped it and then all the cards that fell down.
Yeah, exactly, man. Come on, you know what I'm saying? You gotta make it look easy for the comic folks.
Yes, sir. So what's up, man? What you got coming up? Where you gonna be at for your New York dates?
Uh,
Hey,
so I think I only got one New Year show left, which
okay,
is tomorrow at West Side. Sorry, yeah, West Side Comedy Club.
okay.
Yeah. I'm. It's funny because I'll be honest with you. They they plastered me all over the website, so I must be something. You know what I mean? You just never know how people value you until they, they go, "Oh, you here? Come to the stage." You know, I'm like, okay, all right, okay, okay. But yeah, let me see. Let me get some hard information. Let me give it 1 second. Yeah. At Jeremy Comedy, jeremyscipio.com as well. But let's give you some hard information. West Side uh, Comedy Club. Let's see. I love the staff there. I love the. Let me see. Oh my gosh, it didn't pop up. Not funny enough. Uh, there it is. Uh, let's see, January 3rd, West Side Comedy Club. The address is 201 West 75th Street, New York, New York. Yeah, I will be there at 8 o'clock. Tickets are $15. Holler at me. I'll see what I can do. You can take pictures of me. Do not record, or I will walk off the stage like Dave Chappelle. Not because I'm famous, but just because I just wanted you to be scared of me. That's it. Anyway, thank
Yeah, man. And go easy on them rats the size of Frenchies they got running around out there, man.
you. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
Yeah. So no, man, with that being said, this is another episode of Splendid Radio on Pharcyde TV.